What's going on, everybody? It is your host, Dr. Splash. We're back to Yancey Street. My computer is booting up. I had to do the whole Microsoft key bin shit. So I'm putting everything back on my computer right now. I got completely wiped. So this is still a backup laptop I'm using, but this video is going to be fire nonetheless. Because we're talking about a pretty funny topic that also covers a semi-serious problem in power scaling, and that is scaling chains. What are scaling chains? This is when you scale a character or a concept based on what they should scale off of. What I mean by that is Wolverine might not blow up planets, but he might stab a bitch that does. That's how scaling chains are used. They're used to get characters to look stronger. Just being real with you. So that's what we're analyzing today. I'm going to, as a power scaler, I'm going to show you why sometimes these scaling chains we use can be very problematic. This is a video titled, Who is the Strongest Character in Marvel Comics? And this might actually inspire a series where I kind of go through and just analyze the characters who have become the most broken from where they started. And I definitely think Carnage is in that conversation. You might know him as a Spider-Man villain, but what if I told you there is a scaling chain that can validate an argument for Carnage possibly being the strongest character in Marvel Comics? You might be thinking I'm fucking tripping right now. So before you call me a crackhead and tune out, hit that like button before you do that, and subscribe. We just crossed 30K. But continuing into the chain, let's get started. Let's just jump right into it. Fuck it. I'm going to make the case for you, okay? And if you want to really hear the case and talk about it in the comments, do so, or join the Discord and talk about it. Now, first we scale off the one above all, right? The one above all is a character typically associated or affiliated with the moniker of being the strongest in Marvel, and for very good reason. In theory, in retrospect, on paper, the on-paper champion is Toa. He's supposed to be above everybody. He's supposed to be stronger. However, he has a penchant for having shitty statements and never actually doing anything in the trenches. Therefore, we can't really help the boy. And the reason we base this scaling off of him, and he's at the bottom to start this, is the one above all, according to the defenders, was scared of the Enigma. Now, why is this a key element to the scaling? Well, the Enigma being above the one above all, or Toa fearing what the Enigma is capable of and overall being stronger, this is important because the Phoenix Force, in its true sense, in its absolute purest form, tapped into all of the X-Men, the White Hot Room, its true essence, and battled this very Enigma. Now, is the Phoenix Force technically supposed to be a part of the Kabbalah that theoretically makes up the one above all? Sure, but fuck it, we ball, okay? This is the scaling they gave us. Phoenix, in its truest sense, was stronger than the Enigma and actually defeated it in one of the craziest cosmic battles we've seen in the last few years. But we're not done here. Because recently, in Marvel Comics, Gorr came back. Gorr, the God Butcher, who, spoiler alert, I fuck with Gorr. I think a lot of people in the comic books world like Gorr. He was dope. I didn't even see Love and Thunder, to be real with you, so I can't tell you I hate movie Gorr. But comic Gorr is dope. Well, Gorr recently came back, ran the ones with the Phoenix, and boxed the bitch up. That's right. Phoenix got her shit rocked by Gorr. Dope to see Gorr back, but he rocked her shit and he got stronger. This is important because Gorr is weaker than Null. We know that to be a fact. So Null would be above. There's also, from one of the older, I believe it was Thor stories, Null was stated first among all these primordial beings, including the Phoenix, the fire of creation. So we have Null, right? And you know who scales above Null. You know who we can objectively verify has beaten Null and surpassed him. Carnage. God Carnage. Absolute carnage. That's right. There you have it. There is indeed a scaling chain that would validate Carnage being the strongest, arguably the strongest character in Marvel Comics at his peak. Now, we got the scaling chain in its basic sense out the way. I just wanted to kind of show how problematic power scaling can be. And, this is coming from someone who power scales a lot. I've done that on my channel over the years. I made a lot of views, made a lot of money off it. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you like sometimes power scaling can't be problematic. There's also other issues I've spoken on before. In Marvel Comics and Marvel in general, they have an issue of not really communicating between writers. This isn't really pressed, in my opinion, enough for the writers to engage each other to really talk and make sure their stories line up. The editors have a few overlying goals, but if those goals are met, it seems they kind of let everything rock out, and this leads to really problematic scaling. Now, you can do this in every verse. I mean, you can find inconsistencies pretty much anywhere. You can find narrative screw-ups, but to me, the fact that there's a scaling chain out there for a Spider-Man villain to be the strongest in Marvel is insane. Now, is it hilarious? Yes, because Carnage, truth be told, as I've read more and more over the years, he's become top 5 favorite comic book character of mine. He's fucking chaos incarnate. But this is wild scaling, and it is something you can justify to a degree, which I think is really problematic. So let me know in the comment section down below if you agree or disagree with me about acknowledging some of the problems with power scaling chains throughout all the different works in fiction. You can really get spicy with it if you want. You can ultimately manipulate the idea of power scaling to fit certain narratives if you want it to be the case. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this breakdown of the scaling chain that justifies Carnage arguably being the strongest in Marvel. If you want to see similar videos like this for other characters, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what other content you want to see on the channel. Hit up my Discord. Check out everything in the video description. And yeah, I'm looking forward to returning to regular scheduled programming tomorrow. After I pop this video out, I'm going to go finish setting up my computer. So yeah, it's been a dope ride so far, guys. And remember, it's Yancey Street, bitches.